What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Dirty Talk Vegas, where we talk to the bold, stories always unfold. From the young to the old, nothing's ever off limits to be told. With that being said, I'm going to bring you in with my guest today. He's going to be co-host until Carlucci steps in the building. Please introduce yourself.
What's up, y'all? It's Bunchy Carter.
Yeah. Bunchy Carter in the fucking building today. And of course, it's your girl, Love, aka Tornado Head, because what? I'm going to keep your head motherfucking spinning. That's right. Hey. Keep your head fucking spinning. So we have some things to talk about today, y'all. And I'm kind of excited to talk about this topic because I'm getting a lot of arguments on Facebook over this topic. And so I kind of want to just set the record straight with everybody and just kind of get Bunchy's perspective on it all. So the topic today is polygamy. And, you know, I hear so many people talking about it. And every time I combat against it verbally, the first thing that they say is, well, you know, it's cultures that do this, womp. So I'm going to address that too. But first, I just want to know for the people that it's not their culture. They just are into it. And so, like, what I know is, we spoke about this, but you're into it, right?
Yes.
Okay, so, I mean, what is it that, okay, is it only because you get to have hella females, or does she get to have...
That's actually the last on my list for that.
Really?
Yes.
I feel
okay,
like
so so first of all, there's different types of poly life, right? So there's polygamists that where both parties, the man and the woman, both have multiple partners, and you discuss your boundaries and your agreements, and you abide by that. Then there's polygyny. Polygyny is where the man has multiple wives, and all those wives are faithful to that man. Then there's polyandry, where the woman has multiple husbands, and those men are faithful to that woman. So it just depends on what you're willing to be honest about.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what it boils down to. And my personal preference in the situation is the pooling of resources and being able to, for everybody involved to be able to lean on each other. A lot of the relationships aren't even sexual, like, especially not between the women, because a lot of the times the women aren't bisexual. They're not willing to be with another woman, hence the term sister wives. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of there are arrangements that happen that way. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, he is a man to each woman that he's with, like, individually. It's not like he just got all these women all at the same time, all the time. Mm-hmm. So, unless that's what's discussed.
I feel like I see, okay, so the best example I had of that type of relationship was was it Sister Wives that came out on TV? That was my first time actually. Oh, wait, what are you drinking, by the way?
This is pineapple juice with ginger and turmeric root cut up in it.
Oh, that's some spicy shit right there.
Yeah.
What you trying to do? He trying to go strong forever.
Yeah, be good on the inside,
Be good to your body. That's right. That's right. I mean, you was sipping it like
definitely.
it was sweet. That's why I was like, what you got in the cup? What's in the cup? Okay. Back to what I was
Yeah.
saying though. I watched the show Sister Wives, and on that show, like a lot of the females, they were all cool with each other at the beginning, but as you see, like I feel like bringing limelight to them, bringing them some kind of like, because I just have this thing that like people that get in these relationships are just like they give up on being with one person and they're just like, I'm just gonna settle for this. And so when I look, it just looks like a bunch of people who settled, and I'd be like,
Mm.
I'm not about to settle. But on Sister Wives, it looked like a bunch of women who'd settled. I mean, especially for this motherfucker Cody guy, he was like not even attractive, but I was just like, okay, whatever. Um, the women all looked crazy. Like they looked like they was from Buckwheat, Ohio. I don't know, but the middle of
Wow.
nowhere. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, 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 yeah. You know how it
And
go.
so,
They pull
like
people
places,
from
yeah, and places like that,
yeah,
it's like, okay, what else you gonna do? I mean, what other options do you have at this point? And that's how I feel a lot about those kind of relationships.
yeah.
I'd be looking at the people like, well, what other option did you have? You didn't have too
Mm,
many options, so of course you're gonna go for that. And so
that's true.
I feel like in those relationships, after time, if there is any recognition brought to them, like on Sister Wives, you see all of a sudden they wasn't happy. I don't know how many went their separate ways. I think it was two, but regardless, they started getting jealous. They weren't spending enough time, or they always had some kind of issue. As
Yeah,
the kids
yeah,
get older, you want them at this game, and then you got this game, depending on if you have kids or not. I don't know, but
yeah.
to me, it's
It
just
starts to get catty.
yeah, and so you're being pulled in so many directions. Me personally, I would if I wanted to do something and you was like, oh, I'm over here at Becky's house, I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be like, well, I'm not gonna be mad. Let me take that back. I'm not gonna be mad because I'm gonna be like,
I
damn.
see what you
But
though.
I'll be
I see what
constantly
you mean though.
disappointed to the point where eventually I'm gonna get probably in my feelings about it. So how do you combat that when you are in a relationship with multiple females? Because everybody wants your time. Women are already attention deficit, so I can't imagine you trying to
Hmm.
split that time knowing you're around the corner.
My experience, I guess just finding a person that fits your lifestyle, finding the people who fit. You know what I'm saying? Find the people who fit the life that you want to live. It's 8 billion people in the world,
It's a
and
lot
it's
of
only
women out
one of
there
you.
like that.
I mean, if
Okay,
that if that's the truth that you live, then those are the it's like if that's the truth that you live, then those are the women that gravitate towards you, like,
I, okay, like I feel
or
like
at least the
they're
women who are
faking.
interested in it. You
I
know
feel
what I'm
like they're
saying? Like,
faking. I feel like they're
hmm?
faking it. I feel like they're faking it. I don't feel like that it's genuine. Like
They could be.
it's always women trying to figure out a way to please men and be happy in their own zone while doing it. But a lot of times
Hmm.
they have to step
That's
out
an
of
interesting concept.
boundaries. Huh?
That's an interesting concept.
But I feel like a lot of times they'll step out of their boundaries to see another person happy. People do it all the time. They're always pleasing others. And
That's a fact.
yeah, and they'll do stuff that they necessarily didn't want to do. Like I gave her a ride. I didn't really want to give her a ride, but I gave her a ride home. But it is what it is. And I feel like women do that as well in those type of relationships. They're just like, fuck it. I guess I can be happy. I guess I can just go with it. Like it's not hurting me, so why
Right.
not? Versus I'll go anywhere with this man, whatever he wants. I don't care. Like you do have those too, but I just feel like it's an act.
Right.
Like okay, City Girls, Miami, Young Miami. She got with Diddy. She said at first she wasn't tripping on him fucking other chicks. He even had a kid by another woman, and
But after a while, it was like, hey, what you doing? Whoa,
right,
whoa, whoa.
right. Like I
It hurt a
said
little bit.
that, but I didn't
I
really
thought you was
mean that.
mine.
Yeah,
Type,
I didn't really
yeah.
mean that. I was just saying that because I love you and I want to make you happy. But if you really gonna be out here like fucking every other chick, like, dude, what? I can't do that. So to me, again, that's that fake. Like
It
They
makes
just
sense.
agree.
It's a farce. It's a facade. It's not
Yeah,
really a possible. It's not a possibility.
right.
Not with anyone. I mean, there. I guess. I mean, I can't say because I've talked to women who like are cool, like you know what I'm saying, that are agree with that and agree to it. And on the flip side of that, niggas can't be out here acting like it don't go both ways too. Cause if you think that it's okay for you, then don't think that, and it ain't always gonna be another girl, or you know what I'm saying? Cause oh yeah, she can, it's cool, like she could bring the girl home. Nah, nigga, like she really might grow fond of another dude, like, and you got to be able to deal with that.
Right, and he can have more than you, be more attractive, whatever in her
Yep,
eyes. Like how do you
yep.
handle it? Hold on, we're gonna bring Carlucci, and she's ready to step into the
Okay, cool.
building. So hopefully she's ready.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's one of them things you got to be ready for. Like, you definitely got to be ready for that.
Carlucci's in the
Hey,
building. What's
hey,
up, Boo?
In the house, better late than never.
Yes, fabulously late
what's the
always.
deal?
We're just talking with Bunchy here about polygamy and polyamorous life. And,
Okay.
you know, I was mentioning about sister wives, how they kind of split up. And, you know, how does he adapt to all these different females if he's in this type of relationship? Because he does this, you know, he's in these kind of relationships. So
Okay.
I'm like, how do you keep all these women happy? So he was just saying
Right.
basically that, you know, it's people that are attracted to him are ready for this lifestyle. And I'm like, okay, I get that, but I feel like again, it's a facade. Like they just want to be with him. They want to be around him. So they're of course they're going to be like, "Oh, I'm down." But are they really down for the cause? Because
Right.
And yeah, and because a lot of these situations aren't full on like I'm dating, going and this and that and whatever. Like it's just me and my lady have an agreement that sometimes we're attracted to other people. And if something happens, just don't lie about the shit. Like it's not like she's setting up dates or going out and doing or and if she is, like, I don't own her just because I love her.
mm-hmm,
That's a fact.
mm-hmm,
Like whatever she decide to do, and especially because there's another side to it. Like a lot of people like to have a conversation that if you ain't put a ring on it, then you can't dictate what she does or whatever. Like, but that's the same on is it that works both ways too, because that's one of them conversations that kind of on the flip side of polygamy, because polygamy gets directed more towards men having multiple partners, but
mm-hmm.
then the marriage conversation is directed more towards women having multiple partners. Like, if that makes sense. Like, well, if I ain't married, then I'm single, basically.
Yeah, but it's different because women don't want to sleep around with hella guys at the end of the day. We kind of
Most of the
want,
time. Not some women.
Most of
Some
the
women
time,
do.
that
I want to say most women. I mean, are most women wanting to fuck with many different multiple men?
no,
No.
because
No.
it's actually not your nature. To be
Right,
Correct.
honest,
We're not hardwired that way.
you're
right.
exactly you're the stability
And
more than y'all get credit for.
and again,
Most of the
you
time.
see that being promoted a lot though. Like you see that in the music. I see that just every day online, you know, where it's promoted to be like the guy and be having multiple personalities and oh, I just called you for the D and thank you and you know, next. Like I feel like that's all a facade again. Like we're not built like that. Like you said, we're we
No, it's
I feel
not.
like some women
It
nowadays are
isn't.
trying to create the persona to be like that as a defense mechanism
those
to
girls
basically
is
be
players
Yeah.
like,
too.
I'm
That's
gonna be like
exactly
you.
where I was
I'm gonna
going with
play
that.
like if I was a boy, and
On that
that
matching
way
energy
we're on the
shit.
same level and you can't hurt me, because then already in my mind I'm thinking I'm just here for a dick appointment, I'm just here to get the dick, and then I'm out trying to move like how player
Ahead of the
men move.
game. Be ahead of the game. Like he
Right,
can't break my heart because I just told him all I wanted was the dick anyway.
right,
So it
right,
don't matter if he don't never show up again. Like all I wanted was the dick. So
right.
I feel like
But you mentally damaging yourself on the inside without even admitting it, because like y'all just said, you're not wired that way. And that's how semen demons get made.
and I feel like that's how it is with like relationships. Like we're not wired to have another chick around us with our dude. Like
Agreed. I think that women, whether they want to admit it or not, are more possessive just by nature, for the fact that, like you said, we're trying to keep the family unit together. So how can I be so permissive and just let my man go do whatever? If he's supposed to be my man, he needs to be taking care of home, taking care of me, taking care of my kids, taking care of my house, you know? And if you're taking care of every Betty, Sue, and Jenny, then how can you do that for me?
Like Nick Cannon was just on an interview joking about that recently. Like he didn't really realize what he was signing up for. Like, you know what I'm saying? Being able to, like, having the resources to have them taken care of is one thing, but being able to be present for every single one is something different.
I knew that was gonna slap his ass back. I said, okay, wait till the birthdays come and Christmas comes and Thanksgiving come, and how are you gonna
And
work
the playoffs and the kid got this, and yeah,
he has
2 and
practice
3 things in the same night.
right.
He got a few birthdays in the same month. That's a very high likely chance that ceremonies are going to be around the same time, if not on the same day.
And I was just like, eventually he's gonna feel that. Like you can say he's in their lives, but for how long? You're in his life for an hour,
And they so far
hour a
spread
day.
that you can't guarantee that they're gonna all get to go to the same schools together or this, or
Right.
you know what I mean?
Live
Like,
in the same place. They might want to go live in another state. She might get a job in a better state 5 years from now. But I feel like that then they don't care. They're just like, well, they're out of state, so I can't see them anyway. Like, okay. But the ones that
But
are
I mean, that's like a cop out. That's what I mean. Like, how
yeah.
can you be having all of these relationships and actually take care of home? You can't. It's not really feasible unless you have some type of situation where, like you said, it's like sister wives or like Utah style polygamy where everybody lives together or lives in the same compound and has their own house. But it's like, come on now, just me and you being best friends for the last 10, 15 years, you know, women are territorial, and like, how is that really going to go down? Like, she might be cool with it for the first however long of like, okay, Wednesdays and Thursdays is my night, but then eventually she's gonna be like, fuck that, I want Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and you can have his funky ass on Sunday. You know what I mean? Like, it's
That's what
not
I
gonna
mean.
stay that way.
How do you combat that, Bunchy? Like how do you maneuver around that type of energy? My phone is silent.
mm,
Because
I
I mean,
mean,
okay, say you wanted me to join you and your wife.
Your harem? Do
Yeah.
you call it a harem?
and for one, like who gets to decide I'm the one? Because like even though you may be
she always does. She always does, because at the end of the day, it's more of y'all than it is of him. Whoever, like, if that's the situation, like, and so whoever the majority is has to be able to get along.
so you
And
guys always have the same attraction to the same woman.
no,
Okay. Okay.
no.
So what if you liked a woman and she didn't, but you wanted, okay, then what? Or vice versa. Does she get to have guys?
I mean, if she's never presented me with a guy,
Of course.
but I can't say that
She's not
and of
going
course,
to.
But I couldn't. I mean,
That's
what
what
can
I
I say?
mean.
What can I say?
And
What can I
that's
say about it? I say that all the time though.
what I
Like,
mean
what can I
as
really
far as
say?
nah, she just pleasing. Like she's not really. I feel like if if she could have,
So is she bisexual or is she
Yeah,
straight and she just allows you to have girlfriends?
she's bisexual, right?
yeah,
Right.
She's bisexual.
yes.
And so
Has there like in a situation like you said where maybe she's attracted to somebody and you're not, or vice versa, probably reverse that. Probably you're attracted to somebody and she's not, and she says, no, I'm not cool with it, then what?
Then that's it.
you just won't have that chick, and the discipline will be there because normally you'd have whatever money. I don't believe that.
Right. I feel like if it's an open door, it's an open door, and you can't really like close the door once it's open.
Once it's open, it's open. Everybody getting in. Everybody getting in. No, but for
I mean, low-key, okay, you said it funny, but that's my main issue with polygamy. I feel like if it's for everybody, it ain't for me. There's nothing sacred
It's
or
not, but it's
special.
not. It's not. It's hard to explain if you're not living it or doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them things, and like the main thing is honesty. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't lie. Like, even if it's something that doesn't come up in conversation, if it's an instinct that I have or she has, if it comes up, don't lie about it.
yeah, but
That's it.
okay, but then there's okay, because I know people in open relationships. And then there's the factor of, do I want to tell her? Sorry, I had a fruit fly hit me. Do I want to
I
tell?
thought you were trying to do something glamorous.
Like, what the
I don't know.
no,
Because what don't know don't hurt and all that shit. Like,
well, I mean, like,
but
okay,
but like I said, that depends on your arrangement. That might be y'all might have that kind of arrangement. I don't want to know kind of arrangement. Like,
they have
Don't
their
ask, don't tell.
don't bring do what you do, but don't bring that shit home type of situation. Like,
and I can respect that too, but then at the same time, I'm always gonna be thinking when he's kissing me, like, did he just finish looking some bitch pussy? Or, you know, shit like that, and I'll be worried, like, okay, I don't know if he.
I
that's
mean, that's
fair.
the main thing
That's
that would
fair.
worry me is like children
That's
outside of
fair.
the relationship, STIs, that type of situation is what would worry me.
Yeah.
But it like I said, but it's almost like, okay, let me explain it like this. When somebody is gay, right? You don't assume that every you don't assume that you're attractive to every gay girl just because you're a girl, right?
Right.
So the same with that world. Like, just because there are people out that have that boundary, like they're in that lifestyle, it doesn't mean that they just out doing anything and everything with any and everybody. There's still discernment and a very much it's an energy based thing for me.
Sure.
I can't speak for nobody else.
You have to have a lot of trust because I have to trust that
Exactly.
you're like responsible. Like, you
Exactly.
don't need to front
Exactly.
on everything just because you can.
Exactly.
I mean, that is the good thing about those kind of relationships. I did write that in my notes that it teaches you to like not feel like you own somebody. Like, you know, a lot of relationships they feel like, you know,
The
The
art of letting
possession.
go. It's the art of letting go. If it's
yeah,
meant for me, it'll always be there.
yeah, and so that's the thing I do like about it. Like, can I get to the level of being able to free my mind enough to whoever that I like, that it's not gonna fuck with me if they're out there fucking another chick. And I feel like
But I mean, shouldn't it though? Because
Um,
what's wrong with
yes,
loyalty and what's
yes
wrong with
and no.
traditional
Yes and
values?
no.
if they're
Yes
your
and no,
guy.
because the reason why I say yes and no, because I get it, because there's spiritual energy between in sex, right?
If you get
However, when we talking about the chakras and we talking about energy, sexual energy is the lowest vibration of energy. So if sexual energy is like where, if that's our limit, then fuck, like, you know what I'm saying? Where else? Like, I can't go. If we can't get past that, then shit, we got a long way to go.
you
I
said
mean, I think for people who believe in monogamy, that's the whole point, is that sex is the base level and that there is supposed to be so much more in the relationship, so much more that you should be fulfilled by with me, building with me, creating a life, creating a family together, that should be worth so much more than just sex with some other person that you think is hot. That's kind of, it's not that sex is
But
the end all be all. It's that
that's
sex
not the
is
end
the,
all be all to polygamy though, or to the poly culture. Like
but isn't it though? Because it's like the whole
that's
point
just
of it is like free love. You should be able to like love
no,
anybody.
it's
And
not.
if you really love
It's
me, you should
more.
be happy for me.
It's more about pulling that all of that is very true and is very much a part of it, but it's more about the a village and a family unit, like more than like I was just speaking on that before you came in about how like a lot of times the women aren't even, they may be multiple sex partners of a man, but they're they're not partners with each other, and they don't be doing like wild orgy shit. Like that's the reason why they're sister wives. They're more sisters than anything. And let's say, for instance, you cook better than Essie, but Essie's better with kids than you. That's how y'all correspond with each other, and y'all together make the perfect environment for this man that makes y'all both of y'all's life soft.
so it's like a
But
little.
why wouldn't I just want him to make my life soft, just me and him, and I could hire a nanny
I
and
don't
she
know
wouldn't
how
have
they
to fuck
explain it
my
to a
man?
monogamous woman. That's my bet. Like, and I'm not even trying. You get what I'm saying? Like,
No, I just want
because
to try
that'll
to
be
understand, because like
yeah.
I
That's
get what you're saying
I'm
about the
giving
village. You know what I
yeah.
mean? I get that part. Like
That's what it
that's why you
is. It's
hire a
nation
nanny. That's why you
building.
have grandma come live with you. That's why you have aunties and
What if
uncles.
what if y'all don't what if y'all don't get along? That's a lot of situations. Like how many dysfunctional families are there that where our generation is the first generation to start functional families. You get what I'm saying? How many I don't know many dudes that have women or mothers that would be able to come and live at their crib. Ain't no woman finna let another woman come and say what's going on in her house. You just
But
got
that's
done saying that.
but that's, well,
His
that's
mama
different
not
though
gonna
if
be
it's
able
your
to come in
mother.
your house and say nothing about what's going on in your house, but because she's the elder, she's gonna take that position naturally, which is gonna
Mm-hmm.
cause a problem.
Um, I know some people that manage it, but for the
But I
most
get it. But
part,
I get what you're saying though, nannies
not.
and like all that. But shit, there's now. Let me flip this. There's dudes out here fucking their nannies on the low
True.
But
and not saying nothing to their wives and having secret babies and this and that and the third. Like my going back to what I was saying before. the number one thing in the poly life is no secrets. Ain't no secrets. You don't have no reason to betray me. You got the freedom to do what you want. All you got to do is not lie about it.
And that's
it's like being on a job that take random drug tests. They not testing you every day to see if you smoked or not, but you better be clean when they test you.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I can understand that part. I just know women and how women are, and they're catty, and that,
Really?
and like, it's already hard enough to find that in the single world. I just don't see how any woman.
Let me ask you this: do you believe that do you honestly believe that there is a quality pool of men to date?
No.
I believe there is. I believe there is, and here is my reason why it's not happening. I believe there's a lot of quality people out there, but our time, our energy is our number one priority, and I feel like people are not making the time, and they don't want to give their energy without knowing, and they want.
That's a very, very true statement. Let me drop something else on you that I just thought about. There's also because I know a lot of women who say that they're monogamous, right? But they're willing to cheat on their dude as long as the nigga is single.
Wait, what?
She's willing to cheat on her nigga, but the nigga she cheating with can't have a girlfriend.
Yes, I've heard that before. Like, I've heard women saying that and getting mad because he's not.
You find out that he got a girl or woo woo, but you got a whole nigga at home waiting on you to come back.
Even if he's talking to another girl, she gets jealous. So, but see, that brings me back to that tutorial. And I see this in friendships. I see this in families. I see this in relationships. Like, oh, I saw you looking at her. Or I saw you looking at him. Like, it's so bad out here. So it's like, again, how, like, that's where the functioning of that household, like, so this was my point. Like, I see that people can handle it, but then I'm thinking, how many older people do we know that have a relationship like that? Older generation. Now you have.
I think there's a certain limit to it. Like, I mean, you have to have some confidence in yourself and like understand that men are men and like they're gonna look sometimes, but just because they look doesn't mean that they're trying to do something. Like, honestly, they're guys and they're gonna look. Too. And a lot of times when they look, shit, I be looking too. And so what I used to do with my ex,
freedom that makes you appreciate.
That's because you like girls a little bit, so that don't even count.
But we would play around and be like, hey, babe, take that down. And then it's like a funny thing to where it releases the tension of it being something, a stigma that you can't even fucking, that he don't even see the bitch. I see the bitch. I see her fat ass. I see her big old titties. Let's talk about it.
And that's the ticket.
Part of that leads to cheating too.
But that's the ticket right there. See, again, here's where I feel like women are being fake. They're being fake because they don't give a fuck about that bitch when she walked by, because they don't say nothing about when a guy walked by. She don't go, oh, babe, look at that dude. He looking nice. She only says that when it's a chick.
And guaranteed, if you with your woman long enough, you know what kind of dude she's attracted to. Y'all could be out together and you'll see a nigga and you'll be like, I can see her looking. I bet you she looking at, like, you say it to yourself, like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
but how much better would it be if the next time you were out at a restaurant or whatever and your dude saw you looking at another man, instead of getting mad and being like, why are you looking at that dude? Just be like, babe, you take that down, and then you guys can laugh about it. And then it's
because men aren't going to do that, because it's something that women have adopted to combat the tension. We don't give a fuck, like I said, about that bitch and her ass, but we know you do. So let me just cut the tension right now and mention it ahead of time, so that when you do look, I told you to look. It's not because you looked, it's because I told you to look. type shit. And that's again being fake with the shit because you really didn't give a fuck. You really probably didn't want him to give a fuck because a man that pays attention to you when a fat ass walk by and he don't break eye contact or conversation, you be like, woo.
Girl, after 10 years of being married, that is not true life. It's like your man loves you and he's still gonna look when a fat ass comes by. So it's just like after being in a relationship a certain amount of time, you have to
I think it's the caliber of a man. I feel like
just
it's
let him allow him to be himself, and he'll always come back where he's comfortable.
I was gonna say, I think the key to monogamy is to acknowledge those awkward moments and to use that as spice for your own shit. So like if your dude wants to go look at the porn with him and then make out with him or do whatever was in the porn, keep him happy. Do what you know what? The biggest thing that I honestly hear when they're like, oh Carlucci, whatever, I'm having this problem. I'm like, okay, what's your fucking problem? They're like, oh well, my girl won't suck my dick, and this other girl, she wants to suck my dick, and I really love my girl, but it's like I want to get my dick sucked. Bitch, just suck your fucking man's dick. We won't be having this conversation.
Listen, you knew she didn't suck your dick when you got with the bitch.
That's not always true. That's not always true.
But no, sometimes they be undercover and they start off doing it and then they end up not.
It happens. It happens. It happens. And what happens is because what happens is like a lot of women like a lot of things that women consider preferential treatment, they treat as reward and punishment. So what you used to do because you liked me, once you find out I like it, you stop doing it when you mad at me. Because now you feel like I don't deserve it. Like it's something like I'm holding that out until you act right type shit.
But that's why I think they're stupid when they do that. When you don't want to fuck your man, when you be on strike, she's like, oh, I'm on pussy strike. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? I go, even when I'm mad at my dude, I put it on him. Especially when I'm mad. I put it on him because like I don't want your ass going nowhere. Just because we're in an argument doesn't mean you could think that you're fucking single for the fucking week when I'm mad at you. No.
And that's usually what happens. That's how cheating happens.
That's what happens because you fucking been acting stupid. Nah,
that's somebody that has already been in contact with somebody, and now whatever that blow up was is either an excuse or the culmination of a plot. Like you know what I'm saying? Some people create space so they can do what they want to do and then come back.
There's not somebody out there sleeping on you sleeping on your dude or your girl, you thinking whatever. There's some dude at the office that's like, oh, this bitch is everything, or like this, you know what I mean?
That's a fact.
And just sitting waiting for you to fuck up.
The internet has made the world a lot smaller. It was already a small world before, but now it's like.
So in your words of wisdom or advice, are you saying that more women should try the polygamy life or what?
I think that more women should be honest with themselves. I think that there are more ambitious women out here now than there are the homemaking type. And you should just be honest about that and decide for yourself whether you really want a relationship right now or if you just want companionship. And if you want companionship, don't try to manipulate a nigga into a relationship if you're going to ghost him when he start feeling you.
Well, companionship comes first. We have to know we're vibing with you and whatnots before we can say.
Touche. Okay, well, let me say.
But I know what he's getting at.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's just gonna be a surface connection, let's just keep it fun.
Like how we kind of talked about in the beginning, how some girls start off with the mindset, you know what? I'm just here for a dick appointment. Then they kind of confuse everything because
like that song y'all like that song y'all like. These hoes be winning. Act like that girl all the time. That the girl that y'all think, the girl that y'all think got y'all beat, be her. Just be her.
No.
But
Like,
there's always the
be
next
her for
her.
him though. Like, be her for the guy.
There's
Be
always
her
the
for the
next
guy
her.
that's perfect though.
There's
Huh?
always the next her. You guys are never satisfied when it comes to that type of deal. Like there can always be another her. That's the problem. Like it's almost like for for most men, there's no fulfillment. There's always a void to fill. You know, and I just feel like they could
That's
have
interesting.
they could have every girl, and then like even to me, in my opinion, is how a lot of guys get turned out is they get tired of having every girl and any girl they want, so they end up start messing with guys or transgenders or something just so they can have something different. Like they don't want the same thing all the time forever. Like that's a problem for them.
That's what the dude that
That's
was married to
interesting.
Giselle Bundchen said. He didn't say that about the trans or whatever, but when they asked him, you know, how could you do that? How could you cheat on Giselle Bundchen? She's the most beautiful woman in the
The
world,
world.
supermodel, blah blah blah,
She does
Victoria's
can
Secret
be cooks,
supermodel.
cleans, freaks,
And he said, well, here's the thing. He goes, you know, Giselle's like filet mignon. Filet mignon is great, but do you want filet mignon every day?
Do I want steak every day? Do I want
I
lobster
was
every
like,
day?
damn, that's fucked up, but
And
it's
that's
true.
how a lot of men think. I feel like women don't really think like that. But the problem is women always follow men's trends. So everything you guys do, we will do eventually, and we'll do it 10 times better. That's the problem.
Agreed.
I say that all the time. I say that
And
all the time.
so
The women don't. The women.
the men are leading the game.
People have been trying to, or let me say, some women have been trying to advocate for your place in the world, but you are the place. Like, you are the place, the dwelling place. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm 5%, so I'm God, you earth. And anything that any seed that I plant into you, you're gonna multiply, whether that's love, hate, peace, war. Like anything, if I'm irresponsible, you're gonna worry your fucking head off. If I'm angry all the time, you gonna drink a lot. If, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like anything, it cause and effect. But when with y'all, it's a pendulum swing. Whatever I send is coming back 10 times fold, like y'all said. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that's my analogy on it. Like, a lot of niggas don't understand that, and a lot of my energy is more so because it's not like, it's not enough of us. Sorry, it's not enough of us out here that really love y'all enough, genuinely, without wanting to fuck y'all. You get what I'm saying? Just you know how hurt my feelings be when I see a woman in the parking lot and she got a basket full of groceries, but she won't let me help her put them in her trunk because she don't know what I'm gonna do to her, and I can't be mad about it. That shit is fucked up.
Or you don't know what it's going to lead to that you don't want.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but all I want to do is help you put your cases of water in your trunk. That's it.
Yeah. But she could also be trained not to let another man help her because of her man.
Which is also a problem. You know what
But
I'm
I
saying?
mean, like it
it's
didn't used to be like that. Like the traditional values,
exactly
it's
like help the lady across the
an
street
angle.
carry her
Right.
bags, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Men are always looking for an angle. A lot of times, men are always looking for an angle.
and that's the fucked up part, because it makes it difficult for people like me who are genuinely just trying to help, just looking to help.
Mm-hmm.
That shit is crazy. Like, it happens to me at least like twice a month, because I don't give up on the idea, because sometimes she'll let me help, but for the most time it's trippy.
Yeah.
But this flew by.
So
It did. I know, and I'm mad I'm late because we could have really got into it about a couple of things I wanted to put on the table.
It's
but
all
I think
good.
we
We
should
can
have you
let's
back.
part to it. Let's part to it.
For
I'm down
sure.
for that.
I did want you to tell us a little bit about your album and music and where it's dropping at if people want to go and listen, because you are also
for
a
sure.
rapper.
Yeah. So
Poet of the
you can
beat.
find me, Bunchy Carter. You can find me on all streaming platforms, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, on Instagram, Bunchy Carter Music, TikTok, I'm Bunchy Carter Music everywhere. On Spotify, on the music platforms, I'm Bunchy Carter, Bunchy Carter. I'm gonna send you my links when we get off of here, so we can put the music up on the part 2, because I'll definitely be back. This was cool.
So we can be like,
Y'all
hey,
gonna
Mr.
y'all finna give
Carter.
Well, I want you to bring one of your partners next time
what's
so
that
we
show
could get.
what's that show y'all finna get them a run for their money? What's that shit, Lipstick or whatever the fuck that shit is?
We don't know, but
Yeah,
they should come
see?
on our show so
We've
we can
been
talk
number
to
one.
them.
We've been number one.
There it
We've been
is.
number
There
one.
it
We
is
know.
right there.
Look, hey, just give
There it
us
is right
just
there.
give us the spotlight and we're gonna run for it, okay? Because
Hey,
we know we've been listening to them shows out there, and a lot of times we know.
Well, the next time you come, you got to bring your partner so we can get the female perspective on this and like hear it straight from exactly
The
from the
ladies'
mouth of
mouth.
babes. Yeah.
For
I love
sure.
it. All
Well,
right.
thank you so much for coming out. We
Yes,
appreciate
thank you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
And on that note,
on that note, safe sex
success,
and patience. Love for all for love. Thank you all again for joining us. We'll see you next time.
it's your girl Carlucci. We out. Mwah.